We tend to describe deep sleep as a void, a blank stretch of time where consciousness simply turns off. A gap in your personal timeline where nothing happens. But biologically, that isn't true at all. While you are disconnected from the world, your brain is performing some of the most synchronized, energy-intensive, and essential work of the entire night. It shrinks its own cells. It floods itself with fluid. It reorganizes your memories, and it shifts your entire body into repair mode. If you don't get enough of this stage, you don't just feel tired. Your immune system weakens, inflammation rises, cognitive performance declines, and over time, the brain begins to accumulate damage. Tonight, we're descending into stage N3, into the deepest state of natural unconsciousness your brain can reach, into the architecture of deep sleep. About 30 to 45 minutes after you fall asleep, you cross a threshold. You've already moved through light sleep. Your heart rate has slowed. Your breathing has deepened. Body temperature has dropped. But now, brain activity changes in a way that is unmistakable. You enter slow wave sleep, also called stage N3. In sleep science, this is known as the delta state. It is the deepest level of sleep outside of coma. If someone wakes you now, you feel disoriented, heavy, detached, because in this stage, your brain has largely disconnected from the outside world, not to rest, but to rebuild. To understand deep sleep, we have to look at electricity. When you are awake, your brain waves are fast and irregular. Billions of neurons fire in complex, overlapping patterns. It's organized chaos. But as you enter deep sleep, something rare happens. Large networks of neurons begin firing together, then pausing together, firing, resting, in massive, slow, rhythmic pulses. These are delta waves. They occur only about half a cycle to 2 cycles per second. Slow, powerful, coordinated. This synchronization requires the brain to suppress incoming sensory input. The thalamus, your brain's sensory gatekeeper, reduces the flow of external signals. Sound, light, touch. The doors close, because synchronized silence allows cellular reset. Between each electrical pulse, neurons enter a brief recovery phase. Energy stores replenish. Ion balances stabilize. It's not unconsciousness in the dramatic sense. It's controlled, rhythmic restoration. And this electrical rhythm triggers a cascade of biological changes throughout the body. As delta waves dominate the brain, the pituitary gland releases a surge of growth hormone. In children, this supports physical growth. In adults, it supports repair. Deep sleep is an anabolic state. Protein synthesis increases. Tissue repair accelerates. Micro damage from daily activity begins to resolve. You don't rebuild muscle during a workout. You initiate rebuilding. The reconstruction happens here. Energy that would normally support complex waking cognition is redirected toward maintenance. Even your immune system shifts strategy. During deep sleep, the body produces cytokines, signaling proteins that coordinate immune defense and inflammation control. When deep sleep is shortened, immune efficiency drops, which means sleep loss is not just mental fatigue. It is biological vulnerability. But perhaps the most extraordinary process is happening inside the skull. For a long time, scientists didn't understand how the brain cleared waste. The rest of the body uses the lymphatic system, but the brain is enclosed, dense, sealed. The answer only became clear in the past decade, and it activates most strongly during deep sleep. When delta waves slow neural firing, support cells called glial cells shrink slightly. This increases the space between neurons. Through those expanded channels, cerebrospinal fluid begins to circulate more freely. It moves in rhythmic pulses, driven by slow arterial pressure. This process is called the glymphatic system. It clears metabolic waste that accumulates during wakefulness. One of those waste products is beta amyloid, a protein associated with Alzheimer's disease when it accumulates over time. Deep sleep helps reduce that buildup, which means this stage isn't passive, it's preventative maintenance. Without it, waste lingers. With it, the brain resets its internal environment. But deep sleep isn't only about clearing toxins. It's also about optimizing memory. Throughout the day, your brain strengthens thousands of synaptic connections. You learn names, process conversations, absorb information. By night, your synapses are saturated. If every strengthened connection remained equally strong, the brain would become inefficient. Energy demands would spike. Learning capacity would decline. So during deep sleep, a process called synaptic downscaling occurs. Weaker, less important connections are reduced. Stronger, meaningful connections are preserved. This doesn't erase learning, it sharpens it. By reducing background noise, important memories become more distinct, which is why skills often feel clearer after sleep. Not because you practiced overnight, but because your brain removed interference. After about 70 to 90 minutes, delta activity begins to fade. The brain gradually shifts upward toward lighter stages of sleep, eventually into REM. You will likely descend into deep sleep again tonight, but the first cycle is usually the longest, the most concentrated. We live in a culture that treats sleep as optional, something to compress, something to sacrifice. But deep sleep is not empty time. It is metabolic repair, immune calibration, neural cleansing, memory optimization. It is the foundation that makes wakefulness possible. So tonight, when you close your eyes, you're not disappearing. You're undergoing maintenance. As always, sleep isn't a mystery. It's a system.